We live.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, no.
how you
Yeah,
feeling?
like,
Introduction. Hey, we starting out.
Yeah,
We changed it up. We
Yes,
trying to be a little more
sir.
professional out in these streets. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are live today. It is me again, Swift. I'm drinking on my whistle pea. I need to pour me a cup. I'll bring it out in a second. Yeah, we got a little fancy on y'all. We're trying to move on up in the world. Yeah, it's me, Swift, coming to you from Houston, Texas. What's good?
yeah, yeah. We doing a little something, man. We might need to run that back, man. Run it. Nah, I'll just play. This your boy T, coming from the A by way of law. Y'all already know. Representing them Broncos for Jay Ward. Them Broncos, man. And let's get it moving.
Man, what up? This your boy, IBB a King, aka Crowley, drinking on that Douce tonight. You know what I'm saying? Represent for them Jacktown Jews, baby, holding it down.
what's going on, y'all? It's your man Jay Ward, and I'm coming to you from Shreveport, Louisiana. Shout out to LeBron James taking care of business in Game 2, as I knew he would. Shout out to my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks, taking care of business in Game 2. We making a thing out of that, and I'm sipping on a wild screw daiquiri from Daiquiri Express, where it's 2 for 1 before 7 o'clock. Once I get through with that, I'm gonna switch to this cruising rum, which is a very smooth rum. You can drink it straight.
The show.
What's going on? It's your boy Rob coming to you from lightning capital of the world, Tampa, Florida, by way of Bolton, Mississippi. Drinking on some Stella Rose, Stella Peach tonight. Pretty smooth. Let's get it.
So LeBron definitely didn't take care of no damn business, but it was a Laker win. So I'm for it regardless. So that's cool with me.
In the second game, he took care of business. Swift, don't do that. I
Well,
actually think he was gassed, though. He actually looked real tired. So,
and I'm gonna
I
be
don't know.
honest. I'm gonna get a man respect. I'm like Swift. Just a diehard Laker fan. He would respect. Hey, if you don't give him his respect that first game, the man had a triple double. Come on now.
Okay, we gonna say that for another time. We're gonna say it for another time.
More
I'm a Laker
respect on the
fan.
second game.
His respect.
We coming at y'all. We're gonna start out with a real good topic tonight. Something I don't know if we touched on this. We definitely gonna touch on it tonight. But what has caused us the most trauma as Black men, and that's outside of deaths. That's outside of deaths we may have seen or experienced. But what has caused us the most trauma as Black men? And I started out because something that really stuck with me, and it's a movie I can no longer watch because it hit so close to home. Fruitville Station. I think the very first time I saw it and realized how real life it was and how he was killed, and seeing Mike Brown killed and seeing so many Black men killed by police officers and other people. It just caused a lot of trauma because you don't realize it. So when I'm riding by police and I'm in certain situations, you're like, oh shit. But then I realized that's trauma from things I've seen from these situations. Yeah, we are starting heavy, Mimi. And I apologize about that if y'all, feel away. But I just want to ask y'all this question. What has caused y'all the most trauma as Black men? I think Corey coming on later in E, but I'm going to start with y'all 5 or y'all 4. What has caused y'all the most trauma as Black men and women in the comments? Y'all can come into what's caused y'all the most trauma as Black people, but specifically, what has caused y'all the most trauma as Black men? Now, I guess I can start with Crow.
Well, if you wanna say non-death but violent related, I can say definitely witnessed my dad being stabbed. I was 7 or 8 at the time. So my oldest brother had to be maybe 13, 12 or 13 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad had stopped at a house party that he had just left. Basically realizing somebody had pickpocketed him. So he basically went around asking, had anybody seen his wallet? His wallet all of a sudden appears.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my brother, we see the dude lay it down, and my dad even catch the dude laying it down.
Mm-hmm.
So, my dad being my dad, confront the dude. Him and the dude get into an argument, they get it physical. So the dude had some more dudes there with him. So it's 3 dudes fighting my dad, and there's some women holding me and my brother back at this time.
How old were you?
You didn't hear me in the beginning. So I was about 7 to 8. I think my brother was either 12 or 13 at this time. And so My dad is fighting these three dudes, some women holding us back, and in the midst of my dad fighting the three dudes, one of the guys, because you know my dad a big guy, tall, whatever. One of the dudes pick up an ice pick and out the cooler, and we see it like he swung around as my dad swinging around to hit him. He swing around, he catch my dad at like a little bit above his navel, and go up with the ice pick all the way up to his cage, you know, to where his rib cage meet. And so when everybody see this, they take off. They let me and my brother go. And so, you know, my dad, he still got one of the dudes fighting him. So, you know, we pull one of we pull my dad off of him. So dude get up, my dad, you know, blood running down him, blood drenching me and my brother, you know. So God blessed us, I will say this much, to put us, like my grandmother stayed maybe 5 houses, 6 houses up the street. So we, me and my brother grabbed my dad, and my dad in between me and my brother. And my dad had every bit of 6'3", 220 some plus pounds. And at that time, you know, that's a lot for an 8-year-old and a 12, and you know, 12, 13-year-old. So this dead weight on us. And
so how do you think that affected you? Like,
I'm finna tell you, G.
Okay.
Like, imagine carrying your daddy up the street, and like it's a creek along the side, and like so my brother had to leave me in order to go knock on the door to wake my grandma up, and I got to carry my daddy, and we almost fall in the creek because this, you know, this like dead weight on me, G. And so as we make it up there, you know, finally get up there, he collapsed on the side, you know, grandma called AMR, make it or what have you. But to say this, all right, so how it affected me. So my dad recovering in the hospital. We go stay with my cousin over here, I think it's Woodley or Woodhaven. While we staying over there while my dad recovering, I end up getting into a fight where I end up scrubbing this boy face to the concrete so bad to where like his family wanted to jump me. Like this is, you can ask my cousins, my brother, like I had so much rage and anger in me, like, and I couldn't express it. You know, it just carried on because we never talked about it up until I got grown and, you know, of age. So that was deep. That was hella trauma. You saving your dad, you watching your dad go through something like that, you watch him recover, you know, that, you know.
Yeah, that's rough. So, Rob, we're gonna talk about that in a second. I want to see how y'all got over it and how y'all addressing it now. But Rob, what do you think has caused you the most trauma, emotional trauma, coming up? And you muted too, so let me unmute you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so for the people that know me, I talk pretty openly about how I was raised and my relationship with my pops. It was the guy I was named after, but I grew up in a very abusive home where I had to protect my mom from my dad. My dad was an absent father. He and my mom were married my entire life. They were together my entire life. But I was the only boy, 2 girls, middle child. So I had to be my mom and my sister's protector from about as early as 8 or 9 years old. And so there were times where I'd have to step in between my mom and my dad, and then my dad and I would get into a fight. My dad's a pretty big guy. He was an offensive lineman in high school and college. And so we were basically fighting and me protecting my sisters and my mom from the time I was like 8 or 9 years old, having to provide like the comedic relief, help patch my mom's up, protect my sisters, call the cops, run out the house, trying to hide in the woods from my pops. And that was basically due to drugs and alcohol. And so I did my senior psychology paper, psychology major in Jackson State, about breaking generational curses, which for my family, the men in my family, was alcohol and drug abuse based on whatever demons they were dealing with. My grandfather had to fight the Ku Klux Klan because they tried to steal our land, our family land. He was a Vietnam vet, and so due to that, he was on drugs and alcohol. He abused my grandma, and then I'm pretty sure my dad and his 3 brothers witnessed that, and so they all dealt with that type of abuse in different manners. My dad took on what my grandfather did, which is abuse my mom. And so my thing was breaking generational curses, which was me never trying any hard drugs, Me basically one day going through all the alcohol in my house and then pouring it all out because I was using alcohol as a coping mechanism when I came back from Iraq, my second deployment. And I realized I was drinking too much. I realized I wasn't in control of my emotions. And when that happens, I have a very bad temper, which is why I'm a very happy-go-lucky person because I try to make sure I stay light. But when I drink, I turn the opposite way and I get very violent, aggressive, and I know that about myself because it's in my blood. But I had to recognize that and be able to change some things about myself that I knew I was susceptible to in order to not fall into those traps and break that generational curse with myself. So my son doesn't have to deal with that thing. And if he does, I can help him fight through that. But that caused me the most trauma. It's caused me a lot of issues in my relationship. It's caused me a lot of issues in how I raise my kids. I didn't really have a good relationship with my father, so I'm trying to learn how to be a positive father figure or father for my kids, as well as trying to be a good mate to my wife,
Yeah.
and noticing my anger, noticing my triggers, noticing when I'm going off the deep end, and then fixing myself or apologizing if I do that, because I just know how it can turn, as well as making sure that I'm not getting abused because kids that grow up in abusive homes, they either are the abuser or they get abused. And so I make sure that I have a no holds barred, no nonsense rule as far as people laying their hands on me, as well as me doing the same thing, which is why I'm very passionate about domestic violence, domestic abuse, and making sure I'm an advocate for people who are in that type of situation and helping them cope with that, as well as kids growing up in that type of home. So that's what caused me the biggest trauma.
So let me, Jay Ward, when you answer this question, I want you to put this part in too, because we do see that trauma bleed over into other relationships. You see younger generation talking to people, dating people, and then they get into an argument, and it's horrible because as black men, some of our coping mechanisms are alcohol, like Rob said, or Zans or weed, and then when they get into a bad argument with their woman or the person they're dating, they say, "Well, fuck you, then leave me like everybody else in my life lived," and they use it as also as a way to manipulate that person to stand with them, so that trauma bleeds over to the relationship as a coping mechanism and as a manipulative tool to keep people in their lives when they're really not dealing with that trauma that started in the beginning. So speak towards it. How can we as black men recognize those issues and overcome those issues, like Rob said? What do you think is the first step? But first, talk about the trauma that you realized in your life.
Me? Okay. Man, I can go to so far down this list because my life, as Langston Hughes would say, my life ain't been no crystal stair. And I think one of the main things is a lot of, if I could put it under an umbrella, it would be unhealed childhood trauma. Like that's been the most traumatic thing in my life is just unhealed childhood trauma, and it put me in a situation to where I was causing trauma for other people as well as never being healed from my own trauma until I had to realize like that's what was going on. And it's not something that like in our cultures, in our communities, one of the main things that they do is I'm a pray it away or go talk to pastor. And it's like a lot of times, man, pastors is just going to tell you the same thing. Well, God doesn't want you to do this, and God has a plan, but it's like, God plan was for that to happen to me. And that's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. God wanted that to happen to me. You say everything is a part of God's plan. So was God's plan for that to happen to me? But I think just realizing that you have those things that are unresolved and unhealed is like the first step to healing it. Like Rob was saying, the domestic violence. I remember watching it and I felt so powerless. It made me feel weak. I'm about 9, 10 years old, and I'm seeing them go toe to toe fighting and all that. And I'm like, what can I do? Which led to me like really getting heavy into weights and things like that because I'm like, not only am I never going to let somebody else do that to my mom, but I'm gonna make sure that this is not done to me because I'm also a victim of bullying. Before I grew into like my size and strength, I was bullied a lot because I'm a nerd. I'm still a nerd to this day, but definitely when I was growing up, I was really nerdy, so I was pushed around a lot. And then one day, I just kind of woke up strong. And it was like, haha, not only can I protect myself, but I can protect all my nerdy friends as well. So leave us alone. And it's just one of those things that a lot of people carry on
That's
when they
why
go
you
to
be saving
school.
folks now. You be saving them now.
That might be. It
You
might
got
be.
that
But
cake
I
out.
was
Nah, I
I
feel
was
you.
like, man, just leave me and my Pokemon friends, leave us alone out here. We want to eat lunch outside, leave us alone. And it was a cool thing to be on. I had a chance to be on both sides of that coin. So but I think the main thing is to just admit that there is something that you need to work through, no matter what it is. I'm also a survivor of sexual assault as a child, so um, once you realize that there is a problem and that it does need to be addressed, figure out who's best to address it, and don't be ashamed of talking about it. Like I found it hard to talk to a woman therapist. It was very hard for me to, fully express myself to a woman therapist. I've never had a black man therapist, but I did have a white man therapist. But it was for I was in a situation where I was burned and I had third degree burns, and
Mhm.
talking to that white guy was just very cathartic. And I had a chance to talk to him, and he really wouldn't say anything. He was just kind of listening to me, and it was just refreshing, man, to feel like I wasn't judged and to really be able to put all that out there. And I know getting therapy and having a counselor is still taboo in our community, and it shouldn't be. Everybody needs mental health counseling at some point.
Even
So go ahead
harder
on it.
to,
Yeah, get
uh,
that help you need, man.
yeah, definitely. I will definitely second professional help. Like, ain't nothing wrong with talking to your best friend, your home girl, your pastor, your family, but professional help. I went to professional help. I still see my therapist. Um, there's nothing wrong with it. When I tell you all, let's break that taboo. Um, let's encourage our friends, our moms, our dad, our home girl. Y'all call them y'all friends and y'all see them going and repeating the same cycle, tell them maybe they really need to go talk to somebody professionally because girl talking to me ain't working. Homie talking to me ain't working. Like
Right.
talking, like I couldn't truly express, like when I went to grief counseling, the first time I went to grief counseling at 17 behind my mom's girl, I didn't talk to the white lady at all, to be honest. I thought it was a taboo in my mind, to be honest. But as I got older, I saw the need for it because it was hindering me. It definitely hindered relationships within my family. It tore the shit up out of my relationship with my son's mom, and it hindered relationship growing with my brothers around me. To be honest, and I'm
Right.
still growing because I have to work through some certain things.
Yeah.
So now let's continue being champions for
Yeah.
seeing professional therapists and the ones that fit you correctly. I tell everybody it's like going to get a pair of shoes. If that first one don't, because you allowed that one consult visit, if you're not connecting with that individual, hey,
Right.
pick up a couple of pages and go to the next one. It is a-okay until you find the correct one that fits you. All right, keep going.
So two, real quick, T.
Yep.
But two things Jay Ward brought up and Crow just touched on. It's okay to go see a therapist. And number two, I really think we need to talk about as black men how having sex or being sexually assaulted at a young age really affects us in the long run.
Right.
That's probably going to be something for another time. But T, what you?
I mean, I was gonna hit on that a little bit, like 1, 2 sentences about that. Sexual assault, you don't really notice that until you grown. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really say that it affected me because I liked it. I don't. I mean, I don't know.
Conflicting.
Yeah, that's another topic for another
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
It is what it is. But as far as like the trauma situation, I see that everybody conversation pretty much starts about 8, 9, 10. You know what I'm saying? Like all y'all basically said something around 8, 9, and 10. And that's so crazy that the black man doesn't get a chance to be a kid. Like we grow up so fast, man. And that's really heartbreaking. So I mean, around about my 8 or 9 story, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't never really even told nobody about this stuff, but it is what it is. Brothers vent too.
hmm
Speak.
So my mom was in and out of the hospital for like pretty much my whole life since I can remember. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of sick, going through her thing. I lived with my mom. My dad, he was in Atlanta. And so it was just me, my mom, my sister. But my sister, she way older than me. So she was out the house. She even graduated early so she could get gone. You know what I'm saying? So that just leave me, my mom. So basically, I'm the person that dealt with my mom and being not, I wouldn't say a caretaker, but pretty much so like just love my mama. You know what I'm saying? Like going through the ins and outs with her and all that. And that's not something that you really want to deal with when you're a kid. You know what I'm saying? And so 8, 9, 10, you know, my mom, she going through what she going through. And then I remember my aunt, 'cause I got a whole bunch of aunties, man. I love them to death. But my aunt, she took me outside and she was like, I know it's rough on you, but you're gonna have to be strong for your mom. You know what I'm saying? And so at 8, 9, no emotion ever. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm still kind of in that boat now where, you know, my old lady, like, she can't figure me out sometimes because ain't no emotion. You know what I'm saying? And then with the frat, some of the stuff we learned with the frat as far as, you know, speaking when spoke to, not giving a lot of information unless, you know, just simple stuff like that. And so that kind of expounds on with me having no emotion and with me keeping these answers to a certain level, that's not a good concoction, dog. You know what I'm saying? So that's I think my most traumatic moment. And I can't really get into it too deep so I can explain it more, but just know that, you know, I just don't think that none of us should have had to go through that at an early age like that.
And I agree. So I'm gonna bring up Annika's comment because she makes a good question. She brings up a good question. Do you all think that men refuse therapy because it has been instilled in their brains that men are not to cry, not to share their emotions, etc.? And I'm gonna make it specific to black men because I can't speak for any other demographic. But what do y'all think? And I'm gonna start with E because you just not coming on. Do you think that it's instilled in us that we are not to cry, and then that kind of contributes to us not seeking therapy?
I don't think it's like the whole part about like, yeah, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to show no emotion. I don't think that keeps us from therapy. I think it's the fact that like you worry about people saying you crazy that keeps you from going to therapy, because everybody at first you always hear like if you crazy if you go to a therapist or to a doctor like that, and then like that drives you to question your own sanity at one point. When it's not, it's just really you just have so much emotions you don't know what to do with it. Which can, I don't want to say make you crazy, but it'll make you make stupid decisions. Let me say that. Because like emotion rules over logic, not 10 times out of 10. Regardless of however you feel is going to always trump your logical side when you're doing something, whether you're going through a relationship, whether you at work. Because how many times you done walked into work and be like, man, I don't feel like coming to this motherfucker today, so I ain't gonna do no work. How many times y'all done did
Today.
Exactly. Like,
I
you know
did
what I'm
it today. No
that
lie.
shit real.
That's real, man.
Your emotions always have an influence on you as far as like your decision making. So you can't escape that, bro. You really can't. I think that's what keeps black men away from it, because we're supposed to have like this bravado, like, you know, oh yeah, you gotta be tough, you gotta be hard, you ain't supposed to show no emotions, yada 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 yada, all that shit. As far as my traumatic experience, I'm gonna give y'all number 3. I ain't gonna tell y'all number 1 and number 2. All right, because I don't really fuck with y'all like that. So number 3, there was a time and period to where everybody in my family just kept dying. It was death after death after death after death, and like it was going on for like 3 or 4 years. Like it was a funeral like every 2 weeks. So like now, like my immediate family is really only 10 people. That's how bad that shit is.
Damn me.
Like my immediate family, like as far as like, you know, I got my uncle, my grandma, my granddad, my mama, my sister. You know what I'm saying? So like now it's just like It ain't that many. I mean, it's probably like 12 or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's real slim now. So like everybody that like, I went to their house, maybe like to go see them. You know what I'm saying? Then like a month later, they did. So at like one point, I thought like I was like this cursed ass child or some shit like that. Like I was causing like everybody to die. So then that led to me having like this attachment disorder to where it's I put my emotions somewhere where they didn't exist. So now it's like as I got older, rather, it started to like be like that in relationships. So like people would like often like vent to me or some shit like that. Be like, what the fuck you want me to do about it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you ain't thinking about that. Like I got other shit that I ain't even dealt with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as like grievances and shit like that. Then at the time, it's still like it's minor deaths and it's major deaths happening at the same time. And it's different when you actually start seeing the bodies. That's when it's like real heavy on you. You start seeing the actual bodies. Like you there when they come take them out the house and shit like that. And you just like you under 10, you just like, damn. So this is what a dead body look like. Then you go to the funeral, you see them all with all the makeup and all this stuff. They don't look the same no more. You be like, damn, did I cause this? Am I gonna look like this when I die? You know what I'm saying? So that shit really took a I can't really say like that's other than like, you know what I'm saying, it started to pivot off into like when I was getting in relationships and like my relationship with my family. Cause I mean like I'm thinking like now, like all these deaths, like y'all could go any moment too. I don't like feeling sad, I don't like crying like that, you know what I'm saying? So of course I want to be like, all right, cool, you know what I'm saying? Like this just like the cycle is still continuing, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I think was like the most. That's the third most. Yeah, that's the third. So like shit, it's just weird.
I'm gonna pose this question because this is a hard topic.
Can I chime in on Anika's question real fast?
What she asked?
No, the question you asked before
Go
ahead. We also got to remember too, as a culture, a lot of our moms, since they were intricate in our lives, told us what happened in this house stays in this house. So that resonates with you, even with your relationships with your friends starting off, because you only have a close knit of friends you only tell a certain main stuff with, because that's what you consider your house. And outside of that house, you're not telling them what's going on. So that culture kind of creates that, hey, what goes on in this house, I can't tell nobody because I may be judged. Somebody may either try to take me away from my home or either look less or down on us. You know, it's that kind of stuff. So what's the use of me going to talk to a therapist? Or sometimes you couldn't even tell your auntie what was going on in your house. So if your mama was putting in your mind, don't trust even your auntie, your uncle. Hey, some of us, like y'all said, some of us grew up without daddies in the house, or either we went to daddy's on the weekend. So mama said, don't tell daddy what's going on in this house. When you go over there, and vice versa, daddy would say, don't tell mama what me and you did. So that child, that is creating how can I put this? A tunnel, or creating certain boxes on which is creating small traumas along the way.
Detachment.
So that's a main thing. True enough, telling us not to cry and all that, but us telling our kids not to express themselves properly. Now, I ain't saying a kid should have an opinion and run off at the mouth. No. When my son tell me, Dad, you make me sad, and I tell him, son, why did Dad make you sad? Because you fussed at me. Why did Dad fuss at you? Because you told me not to. And then we broke down through that instead of me just dismissing his sadness, because a lot of parents dismiss our sadness, in which it turns into anger. But I'm gonna let y'all. What's your next question?
And T, I was gonna talk about it, but first, Jay Ward said, men tell other men, you know, that you love them. And honestly, I do it, but in our community, sometimes it's frowned upon because it's seen as gay. It's seen as something that's negative, and we don't talk about that enough. Claude asked,
I probably was like, go ahead, Swift.
I'm gonna ask this last question. You can talk, then we're gonna move on. You can touch on it, but real quick. Claude said, what about trauma caused from bad relationships with women? I think that's a discussion for another time. It's a little bit more specific. So
Well, I got a good story for that.
we can talk about that one next week. But Claude,
These
we're gonna bring
women
you on for
are
that one too.
trash, bro. They're trash.
Let me jump in, Swift.
Hold on 1 second. So Claude, we're gonna bring you in for that one next week. Jay Ward, Jay Ward, real quick, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, you know, and I know we're going to talk about it, but I was like 22 the first time my dad told me he loved me, and it was just because I had graduated college. Anyway, I just want to say to those of you who have survived, whether it's sexual assault, any type of abuse or assault, one of the best things that you can do is forgive that person that or those people that did it to you. That helps you. That's for you to forgive those people. I remember going through different things where I was just training myself to be in a situation if I ever was in a room with that person again, that I would be able to kill that person. And you know, that became something that was within me that was just like it's controlling my life, and I had to just let it go. So just, you know, learn to, you know, forgive that person and just understand that that person was probably assaulted by someone else or abused by someone else. It's not an excuse, but you know, that person was probably abused. Also, um, I just want to say this too, you know, to kind of piggyback off what T was saying, like, man, when you're younger, and, you know, I'm the same way. My mom was in and out the hospital, so I was pretty much in a man's role at about 14, 15. So I had a grown woman, you know, I'm 15, 16. My old lady's 16 years old. I mean, she's 26 years old with a kid. So, you know, when I think on it now, it was like, that's some sick stuff. But back then, I'm like, you know, this is life. So, you know, you really don't see the type of damage that it causes down the road. And, you know, we have to, especially men, I know it's hard, but we have to acknowledge our feelings on different things, whether it's in a relationship or due to trauma and all that. We have to really acknowledge our feelings and not to be over, quote unquote, sensitive. But, you know, we really want to, you know, be able to own our feelings and, you know, acknowledge how we feel. And I think that causes a lot of, you know, borders and boundaries between us and women that we're trying to date and different things like that. So to hit on what Claude was saying real quick, you know, man, men, we
Nope,
got to stop being
nope,
toxic to
nope,
these
nope,
women, man, so
nope.
they don't.
Jay Ward, right?
Whoa,
Mute him.
man,
Mute him.
man,
Don't worry about it.
man.
I
I
saw
got
where
you,
it was
Jay.
going. I
These
saw
women,
where it was going.
these women are taking us down through there, bro.
Like I said, we will talk about that next
We
week.
don't deserve this type of. Okay. All
And
right.
speaking about it, we're going to talk about it real quick. Well, not real quick, but in a different context. But before I switch the subject, I just want to say that it is like we've been saying, it's absolutely okay to go see a therapist and work out your issues. And don't let this be the last time we talk about mental health and trauma. If you have issues, go talk to someone and get those issues worked out because it's going to affect you in other
There
areas.
are crisis lines out there
So many.
on the website. If
And
you
there
all
was somebody in here that I'm gonna post their LLC again.
okay, but yeah, there's always a crisis line available if you don't feel comfortable putting it in the chat. I'm on Facebook. You can DM me. Everybody probably in this chat over here got my cell phone number. You can just say, Crowley said, give me your number. Give me his number. Y'all know I don't care. I'm serious about that on your mental health, keeping yourself safe, keeping others safe. Um, let's continue to encourage our culture, our community, each other to be open to release some of these feelings. That's what's wrong with our young generation right now. They wilding because we're not allowing them to open up and express themselves because we're not opening up and expressing ourselves correctly. So let's lead by example.
I can't find a comment. I'm gonna look for it in a second. But moving on, Claude said something about trauma with women, but we want to talk about relationships in the next two topics. So I seen a status on Facebook talking about everybody claiming they ain't single, somebody lying. But it's the truth. A lot of people are single, 30, 40 years old, late 20s, are single and not dating someone seriously in a serious relationship that leads to marriage. And some people don't even know where to look for a partner, where to start, where to begin. Where do I find someone that I'm interested in on my level that will lead to a fruitful relationship that will lead to marriage and me being happy and I have to sacrifice any of my peace, any of my happiness, so on and so forth. So I want to ask you guys this because I honestly I don't know the question. I don't know the answer either. Where would you even meet someone? Where would you meet some partner, or where did you meet your partner that led to a fruitful relationship, or where can you meet someone? I think we got what a one, two married. I ain't gonna talk about anybody else, but yeah, where would you meet someone
I
that,
think,
that you want to that would lead to a fruitful relationship? And if you want to start out, you can.
yeah, I think
Gender
like,
ain't
you know
it.
what I'm saying, if you want to go where you've never been, you got to do something that you've never done. You know what I'm saying? So by that, I mean you got to get out your normal dating pool or your normal fishing area. You
So
know what
what's
I'm
normal?
saying?
What do you define as normal?
Hmm?
What do you define as normal?
Like where all of your past relationships have been through. Like they all share some type of common denominator. Like you met her at the club, or you know what I'm saying, y'all was kicking it on the yard or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I think I'm a believer in like you attract what you are at that time. You know what I'm saying? So if you was out here wilding, doing whatever, but you tried to find a chick that like, you know what I'm saying, you kind of like ignored the signs, you know what I'm saying, of who she was when she showed you or whatever, then that's what you're gonna get. So you're not gonna find that fruitful relationship till you start to like change yourself and then start to be amongst other people that are like on this same in this same area, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're gonna keep repeating the same shit. And that's why I feel like women be fucking up it. That's because like if you start going back to the same little dating pool, hoping somebody just gonna change out the normal for men and for women, and that's where it happens at. You keep kicking the dead horse because you don't want to change, so you still keeping your same habits. Oh yeah, I want a baller, I want this, I want that. But like, are you in the area where these types of people mingle at, right? How often do you see a woman, a quote unquote woman about her business in like, you know what I'm saying, at the strip club? You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they don't go, but like usually if they are really about their business, they focusing on that. You know what I'm saying? So you only gonna meet them at like, you know, them entrepreneurial conferences and shit like that, right? That's where they're gonna be at. So you've never been to one, right? So you have to be like, okay, well, let me go explore this environment first. Let me go out and meet some people. And then that's what happens. Like I met my girl at a birthday dinner. And that's something that I don't do. I don't go to birthday dinners. To me, that shit pointless. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get you have a kickback at the crib, but like as far as a formal birthday dinner, that's the first one I ever been to in my life. But then, like, you know, we chopped it up and had a conversation just randomly. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole party going on. Me and her having our own conversation in our own little world. So then the rest came from that, man.
Who
You know
said I ain't read that right? Let me go back. Rob, back page, Rob, I'm gonna block you.
wow.
So what you
You gonna
said?
be like JSU president.
He muted. He
Like, this is crazy.
He was praying, man. He was praying.
No, just have to ask him a question too. God, dog.
Flag on the play, flag on the play.
Wait, what you want to ask them?
But E. So what you saying? Hold on, I'm mute. So what you saying is you had never been to a birthday dinner. You went to your first birthday dinner and you met the person that you with right now.
Yep.
Rob,
it's just because like, you know what I'm saying, you have to like, there's a I don't want to say a coming of age, but like I'm saying, you have to try things to know what you don't like. So you know what I'm saying, so you can kind of progress forward as far as like, you know, what do you want out of life?
Right.
You're gonna develop some type of hobby or some type of routine that's gonna get you somewhere, right? You want a woman that's in shape or whatever, right? You're gonna be in the gym, right?
That's true, and I think Rob and Fifi really was made for each other. He said back page, she said Black Panther. Both of y'all agree.
Right.
So Rob, where do you think in the year 2020, how should someone meet the person that they're trying to be with? And honestly, where did you and Fifi meet? Because she said that let me go to her comment real quick, that folks been trying to figure out what y'all started for years and it's all been wrong. I remember you said something about she brought you some food, some chitlins one day.
Chitlins.
Yeah.
Rice.
Yeah.
So talk about it.
Yup.
So her and I we're Jackson State, went to Jackson State. We met at Jackson State, but we didn't really talk to one another. I knew someone she knew, but we weren't really we didn't really talk to a lot of people. A lot of people kind of try to stay away from me because they said I was trouble. So they were kind of hiding by me. And so that was her. When we were in undergrad, she hid and by me because they had trouble. She won't deal with me, et cetera, et cetera. So fast forward to 2008, I'm home on leave from Iraq. I see her at the wine gala. Shout out to the AB Legends wine gala, 2008. I see her, and she's looking way thicker than I saw her in college. Like way. And so
Don't be
I'm
out there
literally
your wife, boy.
I kept her on the dance floor all night. I was home for about 16 days from Iraq on leave. I went back to Iraq about 15 days after that. We kept in touch. And then around about 2009, we kind of started talking. We stayed in touch, and then we just kind of
Time out. Doing war. Hold on, time out. Doing war. She stayed on your man. Shit, girl.
Yeah, she stayed checking on me, stayed talking. I mean, we were
But my question is, Rob, did you intend on being in a long-term relationship? Like, what was on your mind at first?
I did not. And that, like I said, at the time, I was the opposite of trying to be in a long-term relationship. But with me,
how did she change your mind? I think is what people want to know. How did she change your mind?
Shout out to her for keeping this man occupied during a war while he handling business over in another country.
Right.
So how she changed my mind was she was the type of woman that I was looking for as far as someone that was of my speed but not of my speed.
Wait. She was married? What? I'm reading the comments.
Hold on.
Wait, this is
you was too out. Time out. It's a whole hold on, what they traveling all sides. I'm joining a whole lot of sports together.
So
wait, hold up. This was an entanglement?
That's what I'm about to say. So y'all relationship, y'all marriage started from an entanglement at the wine game?
Nothing happened at the wine gala but dancing. That's it. That's all that happened. It was just dancing.
Sure.
But like I said, once I got to know her, so quick story. I came home in 2009 after I got back from Iraq to come see my son for Father's Day. He was with my new ex-wife. So when I got home, I wasn't able to get a rental car because at the time my finances were jacked up. I just got divorced, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Didn't have a credit card, none of that stuff. Just got divorced. And so what happened was Felicia brought me her car, dropped it off at Waffle House for me so I could spend the weekend with my son and drive around and make sure that I can go spend some time with my son after I hadn't seen him. I've been gone for 16 months. And so
MVP.
She brought me her car, her homegirl. She rode her homegirl. She let me use her car for the weekend so I can spend some time with my son because I ain't seen him since I've been in Iraq. And so that's the type of stuff that you see somebody talk about now when you see women, trying to meet a man halfway. A woman would get clowned for that on social media today. But I wasn't trying to use her. I wasn't trying to do anything like that. I just wanted to see my son, spend some time with him. And she brought me her car, gave me the keys, and she rode. Mind you, we weren't in a relationship at the time. We hadn't done anything at the time. She just wanted to help me out so I wanted to spend some time with my son. Nothing attached to it. Nothing at all. And like I said, that's on top of the food stuff. Like I said, we hadn't done anything. So that's different. That is something different. You don't see somebody do.
Real quick, Rob. What's the next person?
Shout out to Vicksburg women.
Shut up. So I think I know the answer to this question. I'm gonna ask you. This might be a potential topic for another time. Who put forth the most energy, or who shot to be in the relationship? Was it you or was it Fifi?
So what I feel is you're not in a relationship until the man says, "I want to be exclusive. Do you want to be exclusive with me?" Mm-hmm. If you agree, that's how it goes. And that's what I did. I got the date marked and everything. I told her, I don't want to do this, whatever I'm doing right now anymore. I want to make it official. Do you agree? She agreed, and that's how it happened.
But prior to that
Prior to that, it was a mutual of us because we were staying together. It was a mutual of us basically meeting in the middle. I don't think neither one of us gave more effort than the other because she gave effort in a different way. I gave effort in a different way. But it's a cachet you have to build up to be able to see if you're going to work with that person and if you all match. You can't have one person stepping out and you can't have one person, doing everything. It's got to be equal. It's got to be this person is willing to do things to show the other person that you want to be with them or they make a potential mate. And not just one person pulling all the weight. It's got to be equal. And that's what I felt. Huh?
You said y'all staying together too?
After I made it official, I moved her from Mississippi to Missouri to stay with me. After I made it official for us to be
boyfriend. That's an alpha beta man.
I moved her to
alpha beta man.
That's a bold nigga. That's a nigga proposed. That's a nigga proposed.
What's the thing? So I'm gonna ask you this question, Jay Ward.
God damn.
Where do you think in this day and age people that are interested in dating for long-term relationships should meet? And where did you and your wife meet?
We met through a mutual accomplice. Like my cousin we met through her. So that was that. I think the best place to meet people would be church, because I think a lot of women are quote unquote looking for their Boaz, but why are you looking for Boaz somewhere outside of church? So don't expect me, if you run into me in the club or if you run into me somewhere else, to act like a husband when you met me somewhere where it wasn't necessarily a husband-like environment. Maybe like a lot of churches have singles nights or singles ministry. I think that would be a good place to meet someone. Work, maybe, as long as it's not inappropriate. Again, through a mutual friend. T like nope. Through a mutual friend. College parties or alumni parties, I think, are a good thing to meet, especially if you are college educated yourself. I think you should be looking for people, not looking for people, but it's a good place to run into folks when you go to like alumni parties or college parties, because they should be like-minded people, because you have both gone through the same events or political events, because maybe your political beliefs align, and if someone is a part of your political affiliation, then that means that you guys might share certain views. I think social media, I know it's kind of difficult to think that, but I think social media is a good place to meet someone, as long as Swift, I see your face, but I think social media, there's a lot of great relationships that start on social media. Maybe to piggyback off what E was saying, maybe a conference in your particular field of study. You may be on a conference for whatever it is that you work in, and you may be on a conference. It's always a good place to meet people, but be careful of that, because a lot of people just like that out of town sex, because I got a room, you got a room, so we should link up. So just be cautious of that. But hey, you never know what happens. So or brunch. Don't sleep on the brunch. Brunch is always a good thing. People are chilling and all that, date parties. But I would say no.
Block the brunch, bro.
I would say no to the gym, because in the gym people feeling themselves, or they working out and all that. I would say no to the gym, because everybody try to hook up at the gym. I would probably say no to a bar, but that's just a case by case thing. Bars, sometimes you can meet someone, sometimes you got to just be on high alert on how you meet them. But I would say no to the gym and no to the bar, but pretty much anywhere else. The grocery store is always a good place, but you just want to. I wouldn't ride up on somebody and see them walking and be like, "Oh, that's my wife right there walking," because you already know she ain't got no car. So I probably might need to avoid her. Well, I don't live in a major city, by the way. So in major cities people walk all the time, but in a smaller city, the main means of transportation is a vehicle. So.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna go to the comments real quick, and the reason I made that face is because we in a social media area where likes dominate everything and retweets. So women and men can put off a certain image that they think are garner the most likes and not what you're really attracted to. But let me go to
get out of answers on social media.
Yeah, let me go to these comments real quick. And I want women to respond in the comments about this question. I don't know if we're gonna touch on it in too much in detail, but Keith Bush asks, why do women always place good brothers in the friend zone or the big brother zone?
Ooh, that's a topic. That's a topic. We gotta hit that next week. That's a whole topic. That's a whole topic.
What was the question? What was the question, bro?
I'm gonna post it. Bush said, why do women always place good brothers in the friend zone / big brother zone?
Man, you can't get mad, motherfucker don't want you.
That's true, but because there was a Facebook post that said, or a meme that said, oh, I can't think of all the details about how women don't want the brothers that can offer the marriage when they younger, but when they get older in age, after they have all the kids, now they want to marry their good brother. I have to find that meme and post it.
Them and them kids better get the fuck.
I'm gonna have to find that meme and let me go to some more comments.
Back in the day, you try to you try to big bro me. I'd let you know straight up. Look, don't call me big bro, cause I fuck you.
T got some inner Crowley in him, I see.
Right? Don't call me big bro. Like, nah, bro. Don't do that.
Unless we came out the same vagina, don't call me that.
Fifi said, I told him if I was single by a certain time, then we would just get married and turn each other out. Okay.
What?
Okay.
Bro, Fifi, hell.
Oh, but okay, so
no, like I do really have little sisters though. Like, don't get it confused. I am big bro to some people, you know what I'm saying? But look, dog.
Man, nigga.
Somebody said yes to brunch. A lot of people said hell no to the gym. My mama, I really can't act out now. My grandma and mama watch. So my mother said it's not where you meet them, but how you present yourself when you converse with them.
Good job, mama. Good job. I was gonna touch on that. Good job, mama.
So to answer the questions that Keith Bush presented, Fifi said because you're not qualified. Kim said save that for later. Miss Marie said we can't comment on that right now. Most people saying we ain't coming on this right now. Mimi said this ain't about us, this about them. Oh, that's how y'all feel. We might need to talk about this next week. We might have to. Bush, we might have to bring you on as a guest topic and let you guest speaker, let you give your story.
Shit, that's gonna be a 45-minute conversation.
All right, so real quick, T Pro. T, where do you feel we should meet our potential spouse? And if
I've been out the game so long, bro. I don't even know where to meet nobody, bro. I don't know no social media. I don't know the apps. I don't know, like, all the women be complaining when people try to holler at them. They be in the store looking mean, you know what I'm saying? And then they clown you for saying, hey, smile or whatever. That's what I heard. I don't do that or whatever. But when you tell a woman to smile or lighten up, they get mad about that. You can't holler at them at the gym. So at work you can't mess with nobody at work with you, because that's just a dirty game. Like
the bread.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't shit where you lay, bro.
So now you have all these women that are well qualified to be with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like pretty, fine ass, older women, mature, professional, and they can't find no man nowhere. Like they can't even get hollered at. And then, okay, you too thirsty in on Instagram and Facebook or whatever. But I really think that's the best spot, bro.
Facebook?
No, I'm saying like IG, like social media, because you can like shoot something out there and she'll let you know if she interested. You know what I'm saying? She might go through. Next thing you know, you got likes from a post that you put up 2 years ago. And you like, damn, she'll scroll through my whole doggone page. You know what I'm saying? Hey, she trying to let you know something. But honestly, man, I really can't help y'all on this one, man. I don't know. I'm lame on that. I ain't got nothing for you. All I know is shoot or shoot, like J Ward pretty much putting up shoot or shoot. If you really want something, just let it be known, man. I really think y'all should let it be known. And if you know any of the dating apps, I see y'all putting a couple of them in the comment. Please put them in the comment. Cause one of my homegirls just texted me and said, let me know when y'all get on that comment on that topic about where to find potential spouse, because she's looking and she is a super career woman. So you know what I'm saying? Any of the bros want to holler, let me know. It's going down.
So
How much she make a year, T?
Shut up, Jay Ward. You shut up. So I see a lot
I
of
can't talk about that, bro.
I see a lot of women in the comments avoid that question about friend zoning brothers who may be a good fit, but may not be what they want. I don't know. I can't really explain it, but we definitely gonna explain it from our side.
I think it's like,
hold on, no E, nope,
my bad.
nope. We're gonna talk about it next week. Why we think women, or we're gonna vent about why women friend zone good potential spouses or good potential partners, because it's not
Next week?
Oh yes, Lord.
Okay, I'm with that.
Have a dissertation.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, I am. Shut up, E.
So, Pro, wrap us up. What do you think? Where can a woman find? I mean, where can we find a potential spouse?
I'm in a single world, and I can truly say that, like your mom stated, it's all about how you present yourself. If you are really calling yourself single, if you're really being open-minded and not being closed-minded and having or putting what you think your mate should be on this pedestal, that will allow you to be able to meet someone, or at least give you a chance to, if you look for somebody funny, because I'm saying being open. If you're in the grocery store and a dude catch your eye or a young lady catch your eye, it's okay to make conversation with them. And if that conversation carries on, it carries on. But if you see them not meeting whatever you're trying to meet within that 15 seconds you're allowing, keep it pushing. And Joe Ward, let me touch on this. You said meet men in church. Always a good thing. I'm going to be honest. Wait, time out. Whoa.
It's call time.
Oh, my bad.
Fellas, Jay Ward, it's a lot of men, and we see it every day, a lot of preachers putting on as false prophets, G, and they up there in the pulpit. So what you think these guys out here in the pews doing? Like, let's be real. The same ones in the club get up, don't probably even go to sleep or wash themselves, sitting right there in the church, amen. You know, and I'm not judging nobody, but what I'm saying is, let's stop being closed-minded to saying I only should go after somebody when I go to church on a Sunday, or when I'm going to the club, or when I'm going here. No, we can potentially miss who our true love is by being so closed-minded. I've heard men and women put statues on. I ain't talking nobody who's this skinny or this big or who got this color skin, whether it's light complexion or dark complexion, this, that, and the other. And then they on social media and ain't no good men out there. All women ratchet and trifling. Man, such and such suck. Because you the one being closed-minded. Blame yourself. Blame yourself. Cut that out, like on some real shit. Grown-ass men, grown-ass women. Cut that shit out. Like, you want to run to your friends and say, girl, I tried dating somebody and nothing worked out. Well, that's because you open yourself up to trash. I'm just being real. And then also, I heard somebody say you can't talk to coworkers. No, that's because y'all not grown. Grown ass folks can handle grown ass business. Hold on, wait, time out. I'm being real. No, time out. Being real. I ain't saying you got to work directly up under them, because you got spouses that work every day in law firms, that work in medical firms together. Y'all getting this construed. It's about being grown and having an understanding and knowing how to control your emotions while you inside that workplace. If you a little boy or a little ass girl and want to throw a fit because you see somebody talking to somebody in the hallway, I'm sorry, you need to let that little girl or that little ass boy go, because that's not who you need to be with. A grown ass man and a grown ass woman understand you handling business at work. After 5 o'clock, then y'all, or whatever time y'all get off, that's when y'all do y'all. I'm sorry, but be open to welcome anybody, but gauge that conversation within the time you need to gauge it. And if you cut them off, you cut them off. And if you welcome them, continue to gauge that shit. Just start being grown about that shit.
T, can I get I'm sorry on the shirt?
Hold on.
I'm saying work husbands, you are very true. A lot of these motherfucking men and women got emotional work husbands, spiritual work husbands, and spiritual work wives, and mental, because they ain't talking to they spouse like they talking to their man or their woman. So y'all need to cut that shit out about y'all wouldn't date nobody. Now y'all don't really want me to snap on this shit. Y'all be phony and fake shit.
Roll it. It sounds
Only got a gun.
It sounds good. It sounds good until it's that time. Listen, you AB, you probably land some grade A whatever, and her time of the month come up, and next thing you know, HR. Stay your ass out of your co-workers' panties, man. Stay out your co-workers' panties.
Co-worker, that's a slippery slope. Like that.
And it's wet.
I'm gonna go to the comments real quick. Because y'all speaking from the queen of friend zoning, if I don't feel that shut up, E. If I don't feel that connection, then it's not going to work out. You can't force a relationship that's not there on both sides. Okay. I saw another comment. Me, exactly. I can't meet nobody in church. I'm Muslim. Rob, I started talking to Fee again on Facebook. Hasn't talked to her since I graduated. We met back up on Facebook while I was in Iraq. Just being cordial, and 12 years later, boom, y'all married with 13 kids.
Hey, mute 12.
I saw a comment I wanted to read. Where'd it go? Just be acting up. Deja, I put a good man in the friend zone because I didn't want to ruin what we had. Okay.
How can you ruin what you have? It might amplify what you have.
Lord.
Well, we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about that next week. Work, husband, wife, gonna knock your head between a washer and dryer. Shanique, hey King, your knowledge and viewpoint is sexy.
Oh my God.
Okay, she got to talk about Crowley.
Janice, can't work for me. I will work him to death. Baby, put these boxes up. Baby, take out the trash. Baby, take us to lunch. He won't want me anymore. I'm gonna read one more. I think that's pretty much it, though. Yeah, that's it. So, do I have any final? I see the ladies. Okay, so ladies, we are going to bring you our perspective as to why we think women friend zone good men. We're gonna talk about that. That's gonna be a topic. Friend zone.
I'm bringing the smoke too.
Oh Lord.
Any final comments on this one?
I'll let it be. I'll let it be because I'll let it be. I'll let it be. I'll let it be.
Yeah, let's go, man. What's next?
Let's be real.
Let's be real.
So once you do get in that relationship, well, I'm gonna bring this point up. We've seen this a lot. The question always come up: what do you bring to the table? And not just sex and money. I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. And I'm not gonna go into what I think bringing to the table means, or what can you bring to the table outside of sex and money, because that's what y'all are here for. But I want y'all to touch on when you're in a relationship, what do you bring to the table outside of just sex and money? Because we alphabeted, we know how far that goes. So what do you bring to the table? Shut up, E. Shut up, E. I see your face. Don't even.
Let him go first.
I bring the table. I bring the table.
See, no, I need details. I want y'all to really like get into it, like as a black man, as a man of Alpha Beta, as a man that is married or dating a serious relationship, so on and so forth. What do you bring to the relationship outside of sex and money? What do you bring to the relationship? And E, No, what? No, I'm not gonna start with E. I'm not gonna start with E because he in the comments. I'm gonna start with Rob.
Start with E. Please start with E.
Yeah, start with E. Start with E.
You might well start with E.
I vote for you.
What do you bring to the table?
He bring that Bitcoin.
Oh.
YouTube.
Right?
Oh, man, that's dope.
He brings stock advice, baby. Let's go.
Shut up. E, what do you bring to the table? And I'm gonna ask this question to all y'all too. What do y'all think black men should bring to the table if they don't, outside of sex and money? But E, what do you bring to the table? Oh shit.
Nah, for real. On a serious and more mature level, you know what I'm saying? I know I clown and shit on here because this is what I do. I'm a clown ass person. Man, like it's not even about what I bring to the motherfucker. It's just like how I customize that bitch to be the best table. You know what I'm saying? And like,
is a pimp ride type of nigga.
Huh?
I said you a pimp my ride type of nigga. Custom. He got custom packages.
Nah, bro.
Packages.
It's levels to the table. You feel me? You got the table you play spades on, and then you got the grand table in the house, the formal dining room table.
Okay.
So the way I feel is a lot of niggas compared to me, y'all are spades tables. Not y'all individually, but I'm just saying that's just how I look at myself. You know what I'm saying? Which is every man should feel that way though. But I'm saying though, like I bring ambition because I'm the type of person to whereas if you got a dream, I'm gonna support it. I'm a team player. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind like whoever makes the most. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. That shit don't faze me. You know what I'm saying? I want us to be in a position to whereas we ain't got to worry about that no more. You know what I'm saying? And as far as y'all kind of touched on it, I do bring, you know what I'm saying, that financial knowledge to the game, you know what I'm saying? As far as like, you know, job ain't gonna get you everything that you want because job stands for just over broke. You gotta learn to be more proactive with, you know what I'm saying, your finances. Because number one, finances is the main reason people get divorced in America. Like that's for real. So for y'all to operate as a unit, to go on these trips, these vacations and stuff like that, you got your finances gotta be straight, bro. Gotta be on point. Gotta be on point. I'm a good listener. I'm a jokester. You know what I'm saying? I play pranks and shit. But like it'd be funny shit. Don't nobody get hurt though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't like really just like, you know what I'm saying, just like explain it because it goes so deep. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm like this forbidden fruit. You know what I'm saying? I leave like this lasting. And I'm not bullshit, bro. Y'all laughing, bro.
This is why I want to eat to go first.
I'm dead serious, bro. Like no bullshit. Like every woman that I've ever dealt with would never forget me. Just like not even
just like Dino. God damn.
No, it's not even on no cocky shit like that. It just like my personality do that by itself. You know what I'm saying? And it's like shit. I can't help I'm that nigga, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay. So
well, like you know what I'm saying? I help people advance themselves, you know what I'm saying? Because like the people that they want to deal with, they don't believe in them, they shitting on them all the time. I'm gonna be that person that's gonna, you know what I'm saying, uplift you, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you that encouragement and shit that you need to, because like shit, I'm not trying to be stuck at the bottom and shit. Then you come over here bullshit, you gonna hop on the train and roll, you gonna get left.
So if I understand you correctly,
he gonna get that shit.
Hold on, let me make sure I understand you correctly. He got the spades table and he got the big table. If you feel like you just belong at the spades table, that's all you're gonna see. If you feel like you belong at the big table, he's gonna bring his financial stability and everything else that come with all his characteristics to make the relationship last. Is that right?
Hold on, right quick. Shamala.
Yeah.
I don't save no hoes. I do not deal with hoes. First of all,
email. I see where that going.
Bro, it's in the comments.
It's literally a comment. Honeys, not HOES, honeys.
Bro, that's what she said. I didn't say it.
Okay, so Jay Ward,
It's right there, bro. Look.
Jay Ward, what
Thank you.
what do you think? I forgot to put the banner up. What do you bring to the table?
I think what I bring to the table is a listener. I think listening is often overrated when it comes to relationships, but a lot of times people don't want you to solve their problems. They really just want you to listen so that they can get that off their chest and move on without you giving your opinion or offering a solution. And some people, were saying that I like to save people, but that is something that I try to do. I'm a problem solver, so I do like to try to solve problems. But a lot of times people don't want that. They just want you to listen to what was going on and just empathize, on what they have going on. So listening is definitely something that's overrated. Support to support you in those areas. I think men are a lot of times, look at it like, oh, they kind of minimize what, their woman is going through at work because it's not physically demanding as opposed to mentally demanding. So I think a lot of times men don't really see how hard their women work on their regular job. So definitely that I believe in being an equal partner, meaning that financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, we're equals. So I believe that that's another thing that's important to bring to the table when you are a man, is just to be an equal partner in the different things that are going on. Like, hey, if you cooked, I should clean, because we're equal in this. I don't want you to feel like, damn, you just worked an 8-hour shift, then you cooked and you have to clean. Like, let me lighten up your burden in this thing, because we're equal partners. So I think that that right there means a lot to a woman, when you can show that side of yourself, that you're willing to clean even if you didn't cook. So or you cook, baby, let me be the person that cleans up. So and I think that right there is just showing that you are an equal partner in the domestic responsibilities around the home. J. Cole, one of my favorite rappers, talked about folding clothes, and a lot of that went over a lot of people's heads. And women do a lot of laundry, and just the ability for me to be in it with you to fold clothes is a lot. That's a pretty big gesture to say that, hey, I'll help you fold clothes. I'll help you with
Your
this,
own damn clothes?
this. What'd you say?
You don't fold your own damn clothes?
I mean, I do,
Hell
but I mean,
no,
a
man.
lot of people don't. So
I can't get with
I
it.
just
I fold clothes, and but I live weird. I like shit be clean in a certain way. So
you know, also something that I think men should bring to the table. I'm not necessarily speaking about myself, but it's just to be that fun in your life, like that enjoyable thing that you do have in your life, that understanding person, and then again, that safe place. And I think that this right here, the safe place, is something right here that a lot of men miss out on. It's just being that a woman feels safe in your presence. And I think that a lot of men kind of miss the mark on that, because that's why I think a lot of women go after a certain type of man, because they want to feel protected. They want that protector, or they want to feel safe. So we have to be that safe place for our women, whether it's, you know, however hard the day was for you, it's safe here with me. However your body feels, it's safe here with me. So just being that safe place. And I think that that's something else that men could really bring to the table, is to be able to be that safe place for a woman, because it is hard to be a woman, especially a black woman in today's culture. It's very hard to be a black woman in today's culture, just like it's very hard to be a black man in today's culture. So I think the black woman wants to feel that I'm in a safe place, and the man wants to feel that he is in a safe place also, and in a trusted space. So I think we have to be that for the person that we're with.
Absolutely. So Fifi brings up a good question. It's kind of hitting on the same topic that we're discussing now, just a little bit deeper. And I try not to go. So let me make this point. A lot of the topics that we talk about are submitted from viewers, and we bring it from a black male perspective because this is what you want to hear. But Fifi asks, here's a deeper question. If all your accolades and accomplishments and materialistic things were wiped clean and non-existent, then what do you have left to bring? So I'm gonna go to pro.
I
Huh?
can pick shit.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go
All
to pro. So answer the
Perfect.
question, what do you bring to the table, and kind of touch on that. If everything that you have accomplished in your career, both educationally and professionally, were wiped clean, what else do you have left to bring to the table to be a successful partner?
Honestly, how I operate now, I'm not talking about the old Crowley because I know some people are like, no, that ain't the Crowley that I know. We're
Mhm.
talking about Crowley, 36-year-old Crowley now. And I think it scared a lot of people that I'm very blunt and honest now. I don't hide where I'm at and what I'm looking for at this point in my life. Um, what I bring to the table is my true blunt and my honesty, what I'm looking for. I'm bringing my vulnerability because I feel like I'm a living testimony. So I'm gonna be vulnerable. I'm gonna be open. You're gonna see my emotions because I'm a man, and I recognize that it's okay as a man to have emotions. And if you're not comfortable with that, you're not the woman for me. Or if you dismiss my emotions and don't want to work on those, compromising and figuring out what's going on, what triggered those emotions, just as if your emotions were triggered, and I'm not trying to figure out what triggered your emotions, then we're not for each other, because then that's what I'm bringing to, is trying to bring an understanding to what's going to help us grow. Now, if I'm not trying to bring that understanding, then I'm not being accepting of who you are. And that's what a lot of us fail to realize too. We're not accepting of our mate. We're accepting of certain things that they do, or we're accepting of the money that they bring in, but we're not accepting of their ways. And then, because we're judged, then we'll say, oh, I don't like when I'm a smoker. So any woman who come to me and tell me, hey, I don't care too much. Yeah, I feel you looking out for my health and all, but at the same time, there's judgment in a way. That's part of me, unless you understand my trauma that caused my smoking and willing to help me work past it. So you got to have an understanding. So I have an understanding. So I'm helping you bring that understanding to the table. Uh, Also, I need my lady or whoever I'm with to know no hustle is above me. I was without a job for 8 months, and my son was on the way. Like, I'm painting the inside of houses, offices. You know what I'm saying? I can't say, but I had other things going on. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what I gotta do, and I'm gonna always, as Jay Ward say, yeah, I come off. I know y'all say Crowley be angry. Crowley got a gun, but that's the protector in me. That's knowing ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. Like, when you with Crowley, ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. And I definitely mean that shit. And that goes for my family, your family. I come at your fucking brother for you. If we together and your brother come at you wrong, you might want to hold me back from that nigga. He might be in ICU and you might be mad at me after the fact. But that's the protection you fall up under when you with me. Like, on some real shit. Like I go over and beyond when I'm for mine. That's what I bring to the table. If all my accolades was taken away, if I had no money, she know I'm gonna be honest with her. The Foley now gonna be honest. I'm gonna be vulnerable. So I need her to be caring, nurturing. Because if she's not that and fucking dismissive, I'm sorry, I'm gonna shut the fuck down.
Mhm.
That's just me. I need her to be accepting and understanding just as I am. And I need her to know I'm gonna be out here grinding and hustle to get us where we need to go. And if I only make $7.50, I need her to be the biggest cheerleader. Because if she down and out, I'm gonna be her. I'm gonna be her biggest cheerleader. I'm gonna be up in her. I'm gonna be making sure. So that's another thing. Cheerleading. I need a fucking cheerleader. I don't know what man do not need a cheerleader in his corner. And that goes for the fucking biggest hustler.
Instead of a nagger or a negative person in their ear, Crow.
Right. That's what I said. Cheerleader, G. You need a cheerleader. Somebody who gonna big up you no matter what. Cause that's the thing. Us black men again, I know y'all saying women, but black men are getting swaddled even by y'all. So when y'all are dating a black man, big up that black man. Because shit. whether he go on social media, on the job, whatever. And I know it's the same for y'all. Let me bring it back around. Yes, it's the same for y'all. But remember, we need that same cheerleading and that support just as y'all want that protection.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Woo, I don't know what to say after that. So we gonna keep it pushing. Pro, great points. Rob, I don't think you went to Rob. You all in the comments.
All right, so I was raised in a house full of women, so I have been hazed by women in my life to understand how to not only be domestic as far as doing stuff out inside the house, folding clothes. I'm the person in the house that likes stuff being clean and order in its right position, all that stuff. I was also the only boy, so I know how to do all the outside work. So I know how to cut the grass, cut wood, cut hedges, trim the grass, all that stuff. So I know how to do the inside the house stuff, outside the house stuff. Also, in being raised in a house full of women, I'm not completely turned off on emotions. So I'm able to know something is wrong when you don't say anything. Even if you're telling me nothing's wrong, I'm able to know something's wrong either through text message, phone call, in person, whatever. I can feel that. And even though I may not be able to fix it, I know something's wrong. And if you're ready to talk to me to fix it, I can fix it. I also am willing to admit when I'm wrong. I know that's a huge issue for a lot of people, especially women, is to admit when they're wrong. I know when I messed up. I know, if I need to fix something, I know that. I understand it. And I want to take the proper steps to fix it because I'm very self-aware. That's another thing. I'm very self-aware. I like to self-regulate myself. And I'm always checking on myself, making sure I'm good. Also, like E said, I bring multiple tables. So I bring, the card table, I bring the glass table, I bring the table with the sprinkles on, I bring the table with the glitter on it, I bring the house that the table's in, I bring the cars, I bring the yard, I bring all that stuff. I also believe in making sure that my family is okay and covered, and I will work my fingers to the bone to make sure that my family's good. And I always put myself last because I feel that that's what we should do as the men in the house is to make sure our family's taken care of before us, making sure that our kids are good, making sure that our old lady's good, making sure that our house is good, making sure that we're taking care of the business that we're supposed to take care of. If I was to lose all my financial stuff, I have heart. That's something that I was raised with. That's something that I have. That's something that I'll never. You can't teach heart. You can't teach someone to get something out of the mud and work and work and work and work until you get it. You can't teach heart. You can't teach someone that when you knock down 50,000 times, you get back up and keep going. Some people don't have it. Some people don't have heart. So I have the heart. I have the drive. I have the motivation. I have the sensitivity. I have all of that stuff. If I didn't have any of the material stuff that I have, I make sure that I have the drive, the work ethic, the understanding, the prayer life, the endurance to outlast anything that's trying to come against me or anybody that's around me. And so I feel that, like he said, I feel like I'm the prize. I feel like I have been able to make impacts in people's lives and they haven't been able to meet someone like me because I'm an empath, as they call them. I'm able to feel what someone's going through, able to understand what they're going through and help them if I can to get through that stuff. I've sometimes overexerted myself at times trying to help people, but I'm a giver and I like to make sure that people are okay. Even if I'm not okay, I like to make sure that people are good and I care about what's going on around me. I've also befriended a lot of the husbands of a lot of fees girls because they've either been lame. I'm able to work well with others. I'm able to get along with these guys, even though they're not guys I usually hang with. I'm able to, make things.
You taking one for the team right now.
I'm a huge team player. Always, I'm able to make sure that things are good. I'm able to make sure that she has her space. I don't like to be overbearing. I don't like to be, that hovering man that always has to be in the front of everybody and center of attention. I like for her to do her thing. I like for her to have her space. I like for her to have something outside of being a mom and a wife. I like for her to have her individual stuff. And I like to be her biggest cheerleader. You're gonna see me all the time. My page is full of her stuff because if she's succeeding, I'm succeeding. I love being in the background.
With that being said, Rob, because Fifi
Love it.
up 2 points.
See,
Fifi
man,
said, shut up, E, about voting, cheerleading. But Fifi said, let me grab my Patriots pump on. I thought you was a Colts fan.
I am Coach.
Oh, okay.
That's been the biggest bridge to overcome in our relationship because I hate the Patriots with a passion.
But you said
Hate
something
them.
that brought up a few comments about women being wrong. I saw a few comments about that. I don't know if you can remember it now, but you know
So what I saw was women say they hate being wrong is because they hate admitting that they're wrong. Is because they have such a big ego when they admit that they're wrong. It feels like it puts them underneath men, and I think that's wrong. I think every adult human, no one's right 100% of the time, never. But I feel like men always have to admit when we're wrong, and women feel like that they're always right, and that's not the case.
Well, Rob, that's because I think as men, a lot of times we run over the opinion of women.
Not just that, but I feel
in the
like
workplace
men,
and everywhere, we kind of run over their opinion. So I
feel like our ego is not as big, and we can always admit when we're messed up. I've always been able to admit I jacked up this relationship. This is what I did bad in this relationship. This is what I did this. If you talk to any woman, every man left them and they're the prize. They never did anything wrong, and the man is always wrong. When everyone knows that's not the case.
Well, I will.
Everyone.
And I'm gonna go to Crow because a lot of women feel like sometimes black women do a lot more for black men than black men do for black women. And one of the prime examples they are giving is the situation with Meg and Tory Lanez. We're not going to get into the details tonight. We not, because we'll be in here 2 hours. I'm trying to avoid going over an hour 30, but they're saying
they'll probably beat the shit out of Tory Lanez.
Shut up.
He probably beat dog.
We not going to talk about it.
He probably beat his ass.
Jay Wood, say your comment again, Jay Wood. Jay Wood, make your statement again.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I ain't making nothing.
No. They want that black men run over the opinions of black women.
No, I'm saying we have to make sure that we aren't running over their opinions.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna read the comments. We're gonna let T go and we're gonna wrap up because we're not gonna be on here 2 hours tonight. I ain't playing with y'all. So Dennis, my future husband, going to love himself some me, baby. This table has been prepared with him in mind. Baby, we can retire at 40. Janice, how old are you and what you looking for? We might need to talk. All right, Crow, you said all that about cheerleading, but you ain't said nothing about juggle balls. Put that in the comments, but we're gonna
don't forget to juggle them balls.
Juggle them balls.
Baby.
You should be accountable for your actions, no matter male or female. That's right. Miss Marie. Yes, you have to admit when you are wrong and apologize. I'm not that one. Okay. Most women saying they admit when they're wrong, though. So
Kimberly's wrong. We aren't ever wrong.
They in the comments lying and capping.
Fake news, bro. Fake news.
And then she makes the statement, we are just right in a different way. And that's how they do it. Emily, you're correct. Yeah. In your mind, you are right in a different way.
T, what are you, Fifi, that's your twin. Who your twin? Back up. Tell me what you talking about in the comments, but T, go ahead.
Nah, I mean, you know, what I bring to the table, I really ain't worried about all that, man. You know, only thing I can worry about is being the best version of myself. You know what I'm saying? I work on myself every day of the week. And so at the end of the day, either you rolling or you ain't, bro. Like that's what it is. I told you I bring the table, like that's my mentality. They say, oh, you cocky, oh, you arrogant, all that bull. Like, nah, bro, it is what it is. I'm me. I know what I bring to the table. It is what it is. I hope that you appreciate what I'm coming with, because that's just how I'm rocking now. At the end of the day, like Will Smith say, I'm only responsible for my happiness. You responsible for your happiness. We come through, put the sprinkles on it. That's how I'm rocking. You know what I'm saying? So as far as being a cheerleader and all that, I mean, we just talked about that with the trauma topic. You know, I've been that person. I've been the cheerleader. I've been the caretaker. I'm gonna give you all the support, all the love. That's just how I was raised, and that's really my downfall, honestly, because I help too many people. I help everybody that I run across in some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion. You can't name one person that could say
Right.
he didn't try to help them. It might be small, it might be minute, but that's just me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I bring to the table. As far that's what I bring.
Where you at over there?
This nigga say a whole Slurpee in the middle of
Come on, Jay Ward, that damn.
but
I'm agreeing with T and sipping my daiquiri, man.
Yeah, man. But that real though, like
that's that
like,
WAC, wet ass cup.
Yeah, that's what I bring to the table for real. And another thing is like people say, like I said earlier about, you know, you believe in yourself. But the thing about it is when you believe in yourself, other people around you start believing in themselves a little more too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm that person that's, hey, okay, you can do it. What you want to do? Okay, how we gonna do it? Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? You wanna start your business, you wanna get that website together. Hey, okay, what you wanna do? Let's go. And that's how I am. And another thing that a lot of people miss is I'm a man. And like people say toxic masculinity and all that bullshit. Now, at the end of the day, I'm a man's man. I do all the man shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all the bros I already know. Like, I'm in the trenches with shit. I do. I'm with the man's man. You know what I'm saying? If my old lady cook, I'm washing the dishes. Like I said, she ain't washed dishes in two years. Honestly, like trash, none of that. I'm a man's man. Yard, everything. You know what I'm saying? And I provide that stability too. Cause like, okay, boom. One day you don't like your job. You like, hey, these folks getting on my nerves. I'm on the other line. Like, it is what it is. Cause I ain't trying to hear your mouth, and I ain't trying to hear you come home bringing that shit to me. So fuck them folks. And
come on home.
You know, like for real, that's how I'm rocking. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know that I'm dependable and I'm a man's man, and it's gonna get taken care of. You know
I see a few questions in the comments saying, "Is T Bob the builder or building a new house?"
Man, look, hold on, let me alone, man.
No, but he built some things on his patio. He taking care of his yard. As a matter of fact, you know what? Y'all put y'all
that nigga yard impeccable.
Man, chill out, man.
Hey, he cussed out some deer for messing with his plants. Like, the man's ready to fight the deer. Come on, y'all.
He is one of the reasons why I want to buy a house right now, because this man deck with the TV on the wood, and he can take it off when it rains. Like this man.
Chill out.
Hey, he got the. Hey, you know how when you go downtown and they have the night stuff with the shades over the top at the museums and stuff when it's outside.
He ain't got a deck. That nigga has a canopy, a bungalow.
Yes, yes, he has a bungalow. A bungalow.
Like it's so great. The deer come.
Not in country.
Y'all stupid, man. Leave me alone, man.
I thought I was doing something when I redid the kitchen. Here come T. That nigga then renovated 3 things in a week.
Hey, and then he out there, hey, bros, what stain should I go with? Should I use epoxy on this? Should I
right. But Miss Bailey, let me go to the comments real quick, then we're gonna wrap up. Miss Bailey said, how do you expect to have a healthy partnership being full of egos, pride, and lies?
Okay.
I don't think you can. Like that's not possible. Like if it's full of egos and lies. I mean, lies by themselves pretty much can ruin the relationship. So if you throw egos and pride into it, that's a situation you need to get yourself out of. But before we wrap up, I do want to say that these conversations and discussions shouldn't just happen on Friday night. They shouldn't continue these conversations. Talk with your partner, talk with the black men and black women in your life about what we're talking about tonight. And please invite them too. That's fine too. But please continue these conversations so we can make the future generations better off than what we are now currently. So we are going to wrap this thing up. This was a great night tonight. I am getting out of here at 1:30. We did good on time. So final comments about all the topics tonight. We're not gonna touch on Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion situation. Hell no. We not happening. So T, final comments about all what you say, Jay Ward? Hold on, T.
Jay Ward on mute.
I'm just saying, like next week we gotta be on that. When more details drop, we gotta be on that next week.
We'll see.
Can I just make this statement? He a pussy ass nigga for shooting a female. If she didn't draw a gun and shoot it at him, I'm gonna just
hold it, Crow.
discuss that. He just a pussy ass nigga for that.
Hold it, Crow. Let me mute Crow. We're gonna hold it for next week. We're gonna wait till more details come out. So T, final comments.
Like I said earlier about the trauma, I think that like all us basically talked about something that happened by 8, 9, 10. And like I said earlier, that's really a shame that black boys have to grow up so soon. And so I just want to say that, I'm proud of y'all for talking about it and overcoming it and still working through it. As far as meeting a potential spouse, I don't know nothing about that, bro. I've been out the game for a minute. Hey, send them the social media, send them apps or whatever in the comments for all the people out there that's looking. I ain't got nothing against it, but I do want to tell the ladies to be nice. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got to turn the guy down, be nice about it. You know what I'm saying? And bring it to the table. I mean, all the brothers pretty much put together well. We got a lot going for us, but I think at the end of the day, it's all about the person that you're with being comfortable in themselves also. So that's all I really want to hit on that one, man. Yeah, what it is.
Crow.
All right. As far as the trauma, as you can see, all of us at a young age experience or started experiencing trauma. And I know likewise it could probably go the same for our black queens on the opposite side. But what I will say is if you are comfortable with seeking professional help, find someone that fits you like the shoes you like to wear, which are comfortable, which are stylish. And if you don't feel comfortable with seeking professional help, find a true friend who's going to tell you truth, not always agree and sugarcoat things, but someone who's going to help you to grow and be able to cope with or overcome those things that are not causing you to grow and move forward in different aspects or relationships in your life. Where to find someone? Hey, if you are open to meet someone, man, just be open. Cut all the bullshit out. If you're sick and tired of being fucking single, I'm sorry. Remove some of those levels on your pedal down. Every nigga ain't got the bag. Every nigga ain't got the flossy car. Every nigga credit score ain't sitting at 700. You got to find some dudes that you got to, work with. I'm just being real. And that's the same thing with the men. And that goes to the point of what you bring to the table. So as I think the question was said, if all that BS was wiped away, credit scores, all that, what do you bring to the table? And it's hopefully the simple things that you fall in love with whoever you want to call your spouse in the near future. The simple things. Let me say that again, because if all the money was wiped away, it would be the simple things. that will keep you all together during those hard times. Whether it's him just simply opening that door to whatever 2-room shack y'all stay in, him going to find the firewood to keep that little shack warm, you cooking the meal that he went to go get. I'm just saying, it's the simple things. Him saying good morning, you saying good morning back, him saying you are beautiful, you saying, oh, you are handsome. Those are the small, simple things. So it's the simple things when you are looking for someone that count, that will make the bigger things seem what they supposed to seem, and not you always searching for those things. But that's my spiel. Be open, and all the things that we talk about, from the trauma to someone, and even what you bring to the table.
Gotcha. E?
I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Fuck it. No take backs, no cap. Fuck it.
What we gonna do with it? I don't know what we're gonna do with it.
I love that nigga, man.
What?
Jay Ward. You muted, Jay Ward. Start over.
Jay Ward tripping, man.
I just want to say, again, your unhealed trauma, your childhood trauma, work through that. Don't bring that into a relationship, because you may be judging your relationship or going into your relationship from a flawed standpoint, because you have unhealed hurt, heartbreak, or hurt. And it may not even be from a potential mate that you have that trauma from, but it could just be from some childhood things. So definitely work through that. As far as where to meet a potential mate, I seem to be one of the only ones that is just really saying that social media is appropriate. Just meet who that person is and just go on a date. That's not a commitment to something physical. It's just go on a date and see who that person is and try to really figure out who that person is. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As far as what you bring to the table, I think that's a case by case thing, but just know what makes you unique outside of what you do sexually. What is it that you can bring to a relationship outside of the things that make you great sexually? Because we all know that those things fade away. Different things happen to where we're cut from our sexual prime. So what is it that makes you unique to a person? What is it that you're bringing to the table out, excuse me, outside of what you can do sexually? So just be aware of that, and don't let that be the only thing that you hang your hat on. And just to piggyback on E. No, I'm not gonna piggyback on E.
I know.
I want to, but we don't have enough time. But no, I'm not.
Man, I just say what y'all be scared to say.
Muted.
Hey, dang, Benet got a good question.
Nope.
We get to it next week, man.
Go to Rob. Go to Rob.
Rob.
That was a good question.
Rob.
All right. In terms of the trauma, I just want the women to realize that what you heard from the men tonight, multiply that by like 100,000. Just because we don't talk about our trauma like most women do often, doesn't mean we hadn't gone through a lot of stuff and we're still not dealing with some stuff. Because for a lot of my issues, it's a daily fight, making sure that, I'm checking myself and making sure I don't, revert back into some old things that is in my bloodstream that I know is still there. So just know, just because we ain't talking about it, a lot of us have gone through a lot of stuff at an early age, and a lot of us are still dealing with it. So just recognize that when you're talking about us or dealing with us. Meeting a potential spouse or partner, I personally don't think any place is off limits except for the job. I've had a bad job experience with a mate, and I would not recommend that. But I think if you're a person that women like to look at, and you're a person that, has some type of swag or some confidence, I think you can meet a woman anywhere, tell you the truth. I don't think there's no right or wrong place outside of the job. When it comes to what I bring to the table, I just want to bring up Florida right now is number 3 in COVID cases in the country. We are going to have to homeschool our 2 little ones, which means that Fee's going to have to be here with the little ones And so she wouldn't have had that freedom if I wasn't able to hold things down as a man. And so I just want to bring that up. You have to be able to hold the line, do what you need to do to take care of your family, also take care of yourself, and do the man things that a man's supposed to do. That's all I got.
And we might talk about that too. Roles and I don't know if we talked about it on this show yet. Roles and responsibilities that are dictated to men and women. So a few things. I don't think there's anything wrong, and I think we all agree that there's nothing wrong with addressing it. I think we should address that trauma that you've been through at a young age or at an older age. Dr. Tiffany Will Speak posted Miracle Counseling Services LLC, and I can't post it now because the comment's too far up, but her number is 769-208-6162. If you're having any issues, if you are going through anything, please do not be afraid to reach out to someone, whether it be her or one of the brothers on the show, and we can either talk to you and try to work you through that, or we can recommend you to someone that is going through, that can help you work through those issues. I know we have Crow, who is specializing in that area, and we have other brothers that or people we just know, period, that can help you through those issues. So I don't think that we should hold that trauma in. We should definitely be able to express what we've been through, work through those issues so they don't impact our other relationships, because that's one of the issues we see in the Black community. I'm not going to touch on the other topics. Where do you meet a potential spouse? My mother pretty much made my point for me. Be yourself at all times, and no matter where you meet someone, it's going to be authentic and real. And if she's attracted to you or he's attracted to you, they're going to be attracted. It doesn't matter the time, the place, the location, what you have on. All of that does not matter if you're being real and authentic and presenting yourself in the way that you want to be perceived. And the last topic, what do you bring to the table? I'm trying to be like T and Rob, where I can build my own backyard and pay for everything at the same time. But that's just an alpha beta, brother. And I need you to juggle them balls like Crow said. But my final question for tonight that we made, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get to it next week, but we might can get through it one of these days. Miss Bailey, I know y'all said this was a good question. What should I do when a man says he is intimidated by me? I'm so down to earth, but I'm definitely in my bag and owning my own firm. How is success threatening? We may address that at another time, another day. We're not gonna get to it tonight, but I want to definitely thank you. Nope, Jay Ward, shut up. You already muted, so I ain't gotta mute you. I definitely thank you for asking that question, and we would
Date
definitely
a realer man.
A realer? A realer.
And you muted.
Drunk.
That
Slurred
real
his word.
Like I said, what I bring to the table, going off of what T said and what Rob said, pretty much what everybody said, I want to, well, I do. I ain't gonna say I want to, but pretty much what they said, plus the sexual stuff too, but we'll talk about that another time too. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. I want to thank y'all for leaving comments, and I hope to see everyone next week. And we are going to have some great discussions. We are just, honestly, we had some great discussions up to this point, but I feel like we really hitting that stride to where we really getting into detail. And
now what it is y'all was faking for the first 15 episodes. It wasn't being y'all real self. And now y'all finally being honest and showing your real character.
Let's be real. Let's be real.
And now the show is better, and we got an intro.
Let's be real. I told you in the beginning, get that intro going.
Hold on. Last piece.
Who is y'all?
Shut up, E, because I already knew you about to go there. You've been reeled up since 2008, 9, whatever.
Since birth.
Shut up. So if any of y'all want to reach out to any of us on social media, we are available. You can add me on social media. I can drop a comment right now, and you can add any of us in on any of our pages, and we will be available to talk to you if you're going through any issues, any trauma, or you just want to talk about why these men or women ain't shit. Like, we here to talk to you about that and work through it.
Follow.
It's not women, it's men. It's men causing those women.
Jay Ward. Mute Jay Ward, man.
I did. Don't worry, I did.
Follow brothers Vent 2 on Instagram.
Yeah,
sure. And share our stuff, man.
But I like y'all. I appreciate y'all for being here. We are done for the evening. I want to thank
Jay been saying run the what you call it back. Hey, yeah, close it out with that, and we'll just sign off like that. That way they can see it again.
We can't close with the intro.
Close with the intro, bro. We fancy.
Thing. They
We
missed
fancy
it.
now.
Hold on, late. Come on.
We're not closing. We can't close with the intro, T.
We fancy now, bro. We gotta show out, bro.
Ooh, okay, Kim.
Okay. So for this week, we're gonna close with the intro, but moving forward, we'll have an outro. T, I'm gonna put it on you.
Next week we need an outro. Next week we need an outro.
T, I'll put it on you. We need an outro.
We need it, T. Let go.
Oh,
All right, man. We'll see y'all next week, man. Appreciate y'all.
See y'all next week. And for y'all that did not
yeah.
intro, this is the intro. We'll see y'all next week.
wear your mask and don't be dusty.
Y'all welcome. Good night.